Gundam.tk presents Cherudim Gundam. Hello again everyone, and welcome to a review of the 1/100th Cherudim Gundam from the anime Double Gundam. Now, first the details. This is a brand new kit, just out in January 2009. Of course, it's made by Bandai, and it's made in Japan. And it's a 1/100th kit, and it sells, you can see the price there, 2,600 yen. So depending on where the currency is, you can call it $26. And already the Double line is doing really well in 1/100th. They're up at 14 with a guaranteed 2 more to come. So they should beat Seed and Seed Destiny, no problem. Now a walk around the box shows a pretty nice front view of the Cherudim Gundam, and it shows also that the camera can be exposed with the model by pulling up the red jewel on the front. Now something that I was really happy to see is that you get a big clear base with this, and you can make the GN shield with all 9 bits. And the GN drive comes with a hologram seal. As far as weapons, there's the GN Sniper Rifle 2, which folds up, and you can also put the bits on the tail, and you have 2 GN Beam Pistols 2 also. When the Cherudim Gundam goes into Trans Am mode, you can pull a blue visor over the eyes, though you'll have to paint that, and here's the way the bits, they can be arranged to make the shield, and you can make a ton of different variations. That also shows how the blue shield comes out. Pretty good action poses. The pistols look pretty good, although you'll see later that they need some paint to look a little bit better. And over here you get what every box should have, an unpainted look at the Cherudim. So if you look at that carefully, you'll see that the visor is not blue and there's no painted red jewel. The manual itself has some pretty nice cover art on it, and when you open it up you get a parts list, A, B, C, and then there's 2 of D, E, F. G is a huge plate of clear parts and 2 sets of polycaps. Directions in Japanese. All the regular things, 1 fold-out page at the back, and at the back you get a color painting guide. Now the 2 things that I noticed right away is that they recommend that you get clear red for the jewel, and that you also can get clear blue. They also say clear green, but I'll talk about that in a minute. And on the back you get a bunch of poses that you can rip off if you're bad at coming up with your own poses. I often get asked which tools you need in private messages, so just a really quick look around. Something that you can't do without is a pair of plastic nippers, and I highly recommend getting a good pair. This is about $20, but I've tried $3 ones, $7 ones, and $13 ones. There's a difference. The other thing that you must have is a modeler's knife, or just pretty much any kind of art knife will do, but I'm quite happy with this one. Now one thing with the Cherudim Gundam is that it comes with a lot of stickers, so you'll need a nice set of tweezers, and something that I recommend for anybody who's ever building any Gundam is spend the $4, $2 each, and buy a black lining marker and a gray lining marker. And when I'm doing lining, I always use toothpicks and Q-tips and an eraser to get rid of the excess and clean it up. Now the other thing that I needed for the Cherudim Gundam, because of the dark green pieces, is when you cut them off, they often have a white discoloration where you cut them off. Now a pro will file that down and fix it up and everything, but I'm lazy, so if you take the Real Touch marker and get the dark green, good for Zaku's, you just draw over the white parts and then smudge off the excess with your finger, and all of a sudden the white discoloration is a dark green. Now the other tool that you can choose to get or not, depending on how you feel, is I bought some Tamiya clear paints, and because I've already built the Double Gundam 1/100th, I already had these on hand. So of course if you're going to build a lot of Gundams from the Double line, I recommend buying all 3 of these colors. You can use them as much or as little as you please. Now the way I did this, and this is what was recommended in Hobby Japan or Dengeki Hobby magazine, is you just take the paint, take a brush, and paint all of the pieces while they're still on the sprues. And that makes it a lot easier. And then cut them off and you can do some touch-ups. Now, I used a little bit of thinner, and I'm not sure if that was the right thing to do because some of my paints ran a little bit, but I just fixed that up by putting on a second coat. So these cost about 157 yen, so you can call that $1.50. And if you're going to paint more than one model, I say it's well worth it compared to having clear parts all over your Cherudim. As for the plates themselves, I've just built the model, but here's what's left over. The A-plate comes with a yellow-orange, dark military green, a little bit of red, there's only a couple pieces in the whole Gundam, and some white on it. The rest of the sprues are all dark green, dark gray, and white, and as I said, you get the one clear parts for the shield bit stand and for clear parts that go all over the Cherudim. Something else that's cool about the Cherudim is that you get a lot of seals, and some of them are good and some of them are bad. One thing they don't recommend is that you paint the clear parts green. For the Cherudim they just say put this dark colored seal under the circle and put the clear part on top. But because I already had the green paint, I decided to paint it green. Now, if you look at this is one of the ugliest seals I've ever seen. But it actually went on pretty well. That goes on the front of the chest of the Gundam. Now, a very cool part of this is that the GN drive comes with a holographic seal, and you also get a set of holographic eyes, so you can choose between the regular eyes and the holographic eyes. I went with the holographic ones just because. Also here, you get a holographic seal that you can put on the camera on the top of the Cherudim's head. Now, as for the red jewel that covers up the camera, you can get two very nice clear seals that are, this is a new kind of seal from Bandai, but I didn't use it because I think the paint for the $1.50 you have to spend makes it look a lot better. Something I'm always happy when Bandai does is that for the action base, this is for the 1/100 size models, they give you a custom attachment for the Cherudim. And if you take a look at the back of the waist unit, you can see a groove there, and you would just clip that on, and you can get aerial poses. For lots of Gundam reviews, including V Gundam, Force Impulse, Crossbone, New, 00, Freedom, and Gundam version 2.0, don't forget www.gundam.tk.